Hi there, it's Jeremy from Ithaka Media here. This is my first vlog, and I thought I'd make a video talking about my experience shooting on film for the first time. So a couple of months back I went ahead and bought the Bolex H16. So this shoots on 16mm film. It's spring wound, so doesn't actually run on batteries, you just wind it up, like so. And then you end up shooting like that. Fully wound, it gives you about 30 seconds of filming time. Wasn't really shooting any more than 30-second clips because that would be a little bit too much. In regards to actually shooting, because I didn't have a light meter, the way I did it is I was just using my GH4 to judge the exposure. So I'd match the ISO to the ASA of the film, which is the same thing. ISO, ASA is the same. So for the color negative film, which was Kodak Vision 3 250D, in daylight I'm pretty sure it had a ASA of 200, so I'll just set that to 200 ISO on the camera. And the shutter speed, normally it's 1/48 because it's 24 frames per second, but I read on a few forums that you had to account for some light loss in the camera, so I put it at about 1/60 just to account for that. And it turned out pretty well. I was able to judge pretty effectively the exposure just by using the digital camera. So I think in daylight situations that's actually pretty effective. However, when I was using it in low light, when I shot on the black and white reversal film, it was a bit misleading. So even though I was basically exposed correctly on the GH4, it didn't actually turn out so well when I got the film back. Some of the shots looked okay. All in all, it was underexposed, so you couldn't actually see a lot. A lot of it was just in the shadows, so I couldn't actually see a lot. So I'll keep that in mind for the future. If I want to shoot in low light, I'll probably have to account for that. But in terms of the actual footage, I was pretty impressed with the look of it. Even though it has that vintage feel to it, it's a nice aesthetic. I liked it. It has that sort of golden gleam that film gives you, and the highlights looked very nice. I was surprised about that. And when it comes to post-production though, it makes you aware that when you shoot on film you really have to try and get it right, otherwise there's not really much you can do with it afterwards. You don't have much latitude to actually push around like the shadows and highlights to try and correct mistakes you might have made. So that's why it's really important when you're actually setting up your shot, you get it right. And that's actually one of the things I enjoyed about shooting on film, is that it made, I think anyway, it's helped me with my future work. When I'm setting up a shot, I try and make sure that it's actually worth shooting and I'm going to use it, and also that I've got all my everything right, so the composition looks good, the exposure's correct, the white balance is fine, so that I do get it right and I don't have to try and fix things in post, because that's well, it's not good. It's not a good process. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, just give it a like. If you've got any sort of suggestions about what you want me to talk about, just leave a comment. But if not, have a great week and I'll see you next time. Cheers.